Hey guys, today is a good day. And you want to know why today's a good day? Today is a good day because I received Claustrophobia 1643 by Monolith. Needless to say, I'm super excited about this. I've already seen some of the minis because I've already painted a few, and I'm going to keep painting these, I'm sure, as well. So, let's get started. Alright, let's get started into opening this. It's going to be a little bit more organized because I actually have a helper here. So say hi to the camera.
Hello!
Alright, so I won't just be throwing stuff on the ground. As you can see, limited edition, so I got number 66. That's exciting, I guess. Sub 100. If you got this too and you've already received it, let me know what number you got. I'd be interested to know, did anybody get lower than 66? Let's have a competition. You don't win anything except, I guess, the internet, but we're gonna open this.
66 pieces in there.
No. There we go. All right. Now this is cool. I have not seen Monolith do this. This is nice. I have not seen... Huh? Yeah, go ahead. Feel it. Yeah, there you go. All right, let me get this out off camera here. Now, look at that. Look at that. That is... There was no airspace, and this is protected on all sides. If I got every board game wrapped like this, I would be a happy man. There is no way there's going to be an issue with this box. And if there is, it certainly isn't the fault of Monolith. That is impressive.
So, like, if it fell out of the car, it would be, like, fine.
It would just bounce around, I imagine.
Yeah,
with all this, yeah. Alright, let's try not to damage it while I open it. Good grief. Well done, Monolith, on this. This is nice. If a little hard to get into. Alright. You know what? That wasn't too bad at all. I've had it worse.
Upside down, Dad.
Was it?
It's not upside down. It's
Take it off. And here we are.
just give it a drink
Finally.
shower.
Alright. That is nice. Look at that perfect box now. I dig that. Alright, let's open it here. We'll get inside this soon enough. Very thick wrapping here. It's not real filmy. Apparently I need to change my blade on my razor. Alright, so I will say, even with all that wrapping, right here, little tiny ding. Nothing major, but it's certainly there. I don't know if it happened before it was wrapped in there. I don't know when that happened, per se. And tiny scuff mark here. Just kind of the typical. Very nice matte finish here. And, I mean, that art, full art. There is nothing... You don't even see the Monolith symbol on here. One of the great things about not having to be necessarily on a board game shelf, you know, like in a mom and pop store, is you don't have to do all that. So this just looks amazing. Fantastic here. And then you get all the kind of other stuff here. On the back, again, because anybody who did this backed it, you don't have to get somebody to look at the back of the box and figure out what it is. Full art on the back. That is cool. I didn't notice that before when they were showing it. But I really dig that because, again, anybody who has this game knows what it is. So you're not having to force it. Okay, we're going to do the fart test. I'm going to start doing that. And no fart. That's a negative. I like the fart. That's alright, though.
It farted when it came out.
Alright, and right here, So that's kind of funny. It said 66, and maybe that's something else in the box. I don't know what that was in the box. Let me see here.
That looks like great with a bunch of pens.
So here, we got carton number, limited edition, 66 out of 10,000. Maybe that was the box. Maybe I got the 66th box. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm reading into it. Because here, 1,917 out of 10,000.
It's like a poster.
Yeah, it kind of is. You can put it on display. Very cool. Nice. Good art. It does not look too blown up or anything, which is great. I'm happy about that. Alright. Here, set this down nicely on the box over there. And let's get started. So, rulebook, scenario book. Again, with kind of the matte black. It kind of reminds me of Kingdom Death Monster. And it was just dark and glossy, but then inside is pure white. Which really matches the player board a lot. This looks very well thought out. Is this a rule book? Let's look for an index. Index, perfect. Plus points. Good job, Monolith. If you are ever making a technical document of any kind, like a rule book, include an index. Then we got the scenario booklet. Wow, this is thick. I'm going to quickly leaf through this because I don't want to necessarily spoil anything. But there's a ton here. Are you excited? Yes. And then we got the same thing, but in French, I am assuming. Let me put that in there. We'll get into this. Put it up. Alright. Our first tokens are cardboard. Okay. And this is kind of the insert. Okay, so it's going to be two parts. So we're going to try inserting it, see if that works, if that goes well or not. And then this, I'm assuming, is a two-part. I'm assuming in here. Oh, okay. So it's just kind of a clamshell. I like that, actually. And let's see. Ah, awesome. Look at that. I don't have to try. Maybe I do have to try a little bit. That is fantastic, though. Oh, a little bit of a thing there, but it's like barely a tag. This has a real smooth texture to it, by the way. So that's all right. I'm actually going to punch a few more of these kind of larger ones out. Make a big mess. Let's try a small one, and then I'm going to insert the little kind of piece of paper here, whatever it is. Alright. So, take this. Oh, get the dangly one off. Again, you'd punch everything out. I'm just kind of showing it here. And it goes just like that. Very nice. Let's see. There's a little bit of an alignment thing. There we go. Awesome. And then your tokens could set in here and they don't move around. Very nice.
Really good.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Oh wait, let's look at the insert real quick here. So this is kind of like a playing card by the looks of it, where it almost seems plastic. There's definitely some kind of sealant on it. You can kind of maybe hear that. So it's actually fairly thick, pretty sturdy. I've had playing cards like from board games that are worse than that, so I'm totally fine with that. That is okay. Go on to the next bit. So this actually seems a bit thinner than the other one. Perhaps it's just really long. I'll check the thickness. It'd be interesting if the double thick one is like even thicker in one half. Again, it's just like coming out, which is great. It just means I don't know what they pay for their perforation, but okay, so let's pop this out here and let's compare. No, I guess it's the same thickness. That's just, twice as thick, so it seemed like it. There you want that. Again, we've already looked at kind of the punch out here. So these kind of look a little unique here. So let me just make sure that punches out well. Let's take that. I'm assuming I don't know why they're like that. I don't quite remember the use of... Let's see if I recognize the symbol. I do not. But it came out well. There are some tags.
You could just use this as a ring.
So you see the tag there? On these kind of more granular ones. Anyway, that I didn't notice on like the kind of larger ones. Actually, this whole board, if you see right here, there's some tags there. Kind of see them. There you go. So, a few tags here. Nothing huge. They punch out well. As long as they're not ripping, I'm okay. Just something to note. These dice look great. Let's see. See if I see any spots on them like I did on the Nemesis one. Take two of them here. If you take a look. I do see some scuff marks. Perhaps not as much. It's certainly not as noticeable. Yeah, no, there's scuff marks on all these as well. They're not that clear type, though. Very inlaid, much more than the Nemesis ones that I just did. And the scuff mark there. Yep, I see, so a little bit right here on the red. That being said, I'm really happy with the color on them. I think they came out really well there. We'll test this tray out as well. I'll bag it later. Alright, let's not tease you with the minis yet. Just spacers for shipping. By the looks of it. Okay. And wow, this is like, it goes all the way down. Some more spacers here.
Oh my gosh, there's so much of those there.
Yeah, there's a ton. So if you're ever wanting some, I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. I'll have to look at that. Some tiles. Here you go. There's another stack on this side here. These are nice. So the edges are very crisp. A little bit of a bent part here. You can see kind of in the corner there.
This is actually really nice.
But otherwise, it's got the typical kind of hashed texture that you get, and front and back. So that's cool. And yeah, the color. I really loved the art in this game, by the way. Like, just the splashes of color you get. It's not something you would expect. Let me see if I can find a really good one. Here, why don't you take those, because look, there's stuff under here. And on this one. Yeah, they're dense. Nothing good is happening there. Yes. Yeah, so see, that's kind of a cool one. They just have these there, look at that bright blue. It just really stands out when it looks like there are repeats. Interesting to note, but they have a different, no, they have the same effect even too. Anyway, very, very good art. So the really bright colors make it pop, and really liking that. And again, good quality. All right, there you go.
Like pop music?
Like pop music. No, it stands out. I love the black-white kind of scheme they have going here. I really like that. It makes it look really clean. Hopefully, having white cards doesn't mean they just end up... I mean, I'm not letting anybody with Cheeto fingers near them, obviously, but
Or
I don't... Or Doritos, that's right. Like maybe Sun Chips.
Yeah.
But not the cheese ones.
Not the ones with like the grease on it.
Not the that's like all of them.
Well, if there's grease on them, they'll make it look shinier. So.
There you go.
Right.
I can't get this open, guys.
Here.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I just struggle. All right. So here's like some of the leather armor, big text. You can see it easily. They can get a little wordy. The margin here is very small, which is nice. Yeah, this looks great. So, let's see. This is, again, so this is actually, I feel, a little thinner. Let me get the insert. It is. So these are not actually the same. This seems much thicker than this, which makes sense because this is larger, and you're going to use this every game. You might not necessarily use these. Here, put that up. However, I probably would have liked these a little thicker. In fact, if they were the same as that, I would have been really happy. But otherwise, they look good. And it looks like it looks like that won't work sleeved. That's because that's really snug in there. So that's not going to work if you sleeve them. I'm not going to open the little ones. I imagine they're the exact same. It looks like you get, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so I only need actually one of these. So one is in French and one is in English. So again, they doubled up there on that. All right, so that's that. Let's see what this is. Is this just a spacer?
Well, now we can learn French if he does, right?
Empty. Maybe it's used for something. I'm going to keep it until I read the rules. I don't think a tile could fit in there. I don't think it's used for anything. It's just kind of fancy. Let's pop those out. There you go. Minis are last. Calm down. Okay, we got some tokens down here.
So if you don't need those, then I'll just keep them.
These are the exact same that you get in Conan. These are the larger ones. I am curious about the larger ones. Very great. Unlike... I'm trying to see how much I'm going to drop them. A little bit of damage right here on this one. But overall, I am pretty happy with these. Let me see if I see any others that are like damaged like that. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. So right there, you can see on the edge there, it's got a little nick in it. And I got another one. See, here's another one here. So it looks like that's the same spot. This mold, I don't know if that's where it's released or poured into, or how exactly that works. Not all of them have it. Here's another one. But that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, again, nothing huge. You're just using this for a little bit, but I would have liked, obviously, to have them perfect in every way possible. The little ones, they look fine. Again, I've used these a lot in Conan. I've never noticed really. No, see, there's a nick right in there. Right in that one. So, tiny bit. Hey, no looking ahead. They haven't seen the miniatures up close yet. So again, at the very end, I'm going to do a round table kind of look at it with really good lighting. These look great. You got a ton of these too. They're clear. They almost look like gummies. The detail, again, you'll be able to see it a lot better later in the video. The teeth are super defined, which is really, really nice. Very cool. Maybe. Alright. And it looks like this tray is like the whole thing. So it looks like these are just the other boards and inserts. We've seen these before, so I'm not going to... well... Yeah, same thickness. This is the exact same as the other ones. They'll open up. So anyway, what I was saying is these are taped. Well, not taped, but... maybe they're not. Maybe that's just a gray part. Yeah, see, I'm just crazy. It looked like it was taped here. But it is not. Whereas these do have a band around to keep them there. And then underneath here, you have... Come on. Some more boards here. These are the demon boards, if I'm not mistaken. They would go down like this. And a picture here, and then they have like their special powers, I believe, listed here, because each one's kind of unique in how they act. And for the tray itself, the insert, I always find that kind of interesting to see how that is. It is actually quite sturdy. You can see me trying to flex it here. Not bad at all. Oh, the other dice, thanks. So here's the other dice. Again, they are inlaid really well. I'm not seeing any bleed in the numbers. You would worry sometimes like some of that white would go into the red in the middle. I'm not seeing that in either one. Same with the black here. As somebody who's not like super... I mean, I'm a little colorblind. Anyway, the red could maybe be a bit brighter red so that I could see that black one a bit better, but this I can see really well. This is not as noticeable to me. Here, let me actually show what I'm looking at here real quick. Again, minor nitpick here, because I can see it. It just, one is much more visible to me than the other. And this is good lighting too. I mean, sometimes you guys play in like dens and basements and who knows what, but that black on red is a little bit harder to see than the white. A brighter red, I think, would have solved that. All right.
Not done yet.
Is that out of the way?
Well, yeah.
Miniature time. Let's zoom in. Woo! All right.
Did you make that noise?
I did make that noise.
I didn't hear that. Wait, is there more than a box? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's start on the bottom one. That was quite the adventure. Here, why don't you take the tape off of that? Off camera. All right. Now, one thing I will say, this is a much different plastic than the tray. This is very, very flimsy and creaky, and you can kind of hear the sound, and much cheaper than before. However, the tape's going to be everywhere now. They do have the dimples, which I very much like. It keeps them really flat in there, so they're not jostling around. Let's see the big guy. You guys want to see the big guy, right? Look at the detail there. Very impressive. Textured base. Really like that. That's fine. Very much enjoy that. I'm a fan of texturing the bases like this. I can still add to it. Oh, let me get that on camera. Sorry about that. I can add to it, which is great, but otherwise it looks uniform and just better for everybody. Very cool. These are nice and straight. This is very hard. Obviously, not PVC there. That's ABS. Skin texture came out great. Cool pose. Like it. Love it. Very cool. Alright, this is one of the armored guys here. I'm not seeing hardly any flash. Again, I am looking at it at a little bit of a distance. You guys are seeing it probably a bit closer than me. Maybe across his chest here. Looks like that might be some. Really unfortunate if that's the case, but otherwise, he looks great. I like the little bit of an added texture there. Let's look at this guy. Crazy. Oh man, that would mess you up. The texture here. Let it focus. Come on. You focus that close? The texture here is astounding. It's really, really good. Let me get my little pointer out. Alright, so this is what I'm looking at right here. The kind of chains. Very, very impressive. Very good. That you can see the interlocking. You can see the inside of it. It's not just a texture. It actually has shape and form. That'll dry brush awesome. Can't wait to do that. The little damage detail you see here on his armor, again, very good. Makes it seem a little bit more worn. Really good creases on the pants. Those will come out great in a wash. Again, with the kind of textured base here, I like that. I like that it's fairly subtle, and I'm actually okay with that. You don't want too much, or then I'm not able to base it. If I wanted to add a bush, let's say, for instance, to a textured base, if it's not super flat, I won't be able to as well. That wood texture is awesome. Really, really good.
One of the good guys?
Yes, well, yeah.
So,
Yes, he is. These are all the good guys. Here, let's get this crazy axe dude here.
whoa.
All right. So again, facial features are perfect. You can see him grimacing as he swings his axe back. You can actually see like the clenched teeth there. This texture here is awesome. I would like to point out that the pilot of the scout in Nemesis attempted to have a texture like this. It was not this good. Really, really good. I'm going to have to determine scale. I will after I look at this. I love the blades on blades on blades there. Very cool. Alright, let's do one more hero. Okay, so sometimes they don't do this, and it's a good way to kind of tell the detail level of the sculpt here. But the clasp that goes around where they hold the shield is visible over the arm, so I can actually paint that. That they kind of slot their arm into. Again, great texture on the clothes. good face. Actually has, again, kind of, he's not really making a face like the other guy was, but he's not lifting a huge thing either. This is bent. I'm assuming it's supposed to be straight. Oh, sorry. I keep taking this off camera. I do apologize. Assuming it's supposed to be straight, and it is not. It is bent. I'll have to do hot water. Hot water will fix this. It's definitely skinny enough. It'll do it just fine. You could even keep it bent. It's wood, so technically it doesn't have to be straight, but I'm going to straighten it.
Maybe he just like this. Go sideways.
But, yeah, I don't know if that would flex. Alright, so that looks cool. Good stuff there.
Do you want me to take that?
Oh yeah, go ahead and take it.
Okay, the side that I opened is...
This way, huh? Alright. Let's look at this guy. He's like front and center in the art. Let's see what it looks like here. Very cool. The wrappings here aren't plain. They're actually, like they have the little crevice there. Like they're wrapped tight. Facial details are good. Even these smaller ones, a lot of times, like this face actually has eyes. A lot of times this would just like hint at it, but the sculpt kept it. There's a face here inlaid here that looks cool. I like any time that the mini doesn't seem centered. Okay, so you can kind of see that. And that, like, go past the base a little bit. So just slightly, right? I mean, you don't want him, like, leaning over, but it definitely looks like he was here because of his feet, but then he's leaning forward, and having the base off center, I think, really helps that motion become a sense. If he was farther back on the base, you wouldn't get the same feel. At least I don't think so. I tend to see that forward motion more when he's almost like coming off of his base. So putting him right there at the edge, really smart idea.
To me, it kind of looks like it's...
There is some flash here. So right here, there's some mold lines I'm going to have to trim on the foot. Obviously this was a separate, and then it was assembled onto this base, of course, so right here and right here. The glue, though, is perfectly fine. The position's great. I don't see any issue there. A little bit of a mold line. But that's, like, nothing. Like, normally you get a mold line that's, like, all the way down the side and then across his face or something like that. Really deep pits, too, which means a wash will make that look great and really stand out. So, excited for that.
It kind of looks like it's like a whole bunch of...
Okay, let's do the grossest one.
Ew.
Here's the grossest one that I think they have. Again, kind of interesting. He's farther back. To me, that seems like it's more lumbering and less like lunging. I can see the person here just kind of strapped and grabbed on, and it's gonna look gross. And I love it. So the chains, kind of work right here. It kind of dies, and I'm gonna have to look closer to see what's going on here. Maybe it's going in, because it's obviously not wrapped all the way around him. Maybe it's going into it, and that's why it gets a little muddy here. I'm not sure. Same here. There's not a lot of detail necessarily there, whereas right here it looks fine. But here, all the teeth and stuff came out great. Alright, let's look at a planar guy. So this guy's cool. I like when any mini is raised like this. My first one I saw was in Descent, the seer lady with like the peacock feathers in the back as she was raised. It looked really cool. So I love the pose as well. His shoulders aren't, he's like slouching this arm, so it's at an angle, and this is close to him. Close enough to where I'm not bothered that it's the same mold here. That's fine. I don't see an issue there. And then his head is turned the other way. Very, very subtle things that I think really make it seem cool. There is a texture on his coat, but it's very, very fine. I don't think that'll survive a paint. However, I do appreciate that it's, I guess, there. And any more, and it would give it a different look, I suppose. Yeah, very good. Definitely true scale, right? I mean, really tall fingers and hands, and this may not be the best mini to look at, but the hand looks kind of iffy. Maybe I should get something with better hands. Can you hand me another one of the humans?
What?
Look at this guy. Is he not cool? Yes.
Okay, the humans.
I love the kind of staking him with the chains there. Very cool. Really dig it. Again, coming off the base a little bit. It's a little thing like that I don't know. I get a little giddy about it. And I don't want a smaller base to do it. That's not exactly what I'm saying. I appreciate when it seems like this is just a snippet of the land it's on, as opposed to a framing device for the miniature that you get so often. So him coming out of the base just a little bit almost seems like you took him from the board. And then, to me anyway, that's kind of how I see it. Very cool. All right, let me see one of those people. Let's look at these fingers. Yeah, there's clear fingers here. So maybe that demon's just a little morphed, or I'll have to look. But he definitely has fingers.
It looks like his axe is kind of like bent in the middle.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, again, a little bit of a bent here. Maybe it needs to be bowed out. Maybe it's supposed to be that way. I'll have to check the art on that one, because it seems like a very smooth curve, so I'm not quite sure, but that's all right. Okay, let's look at one more. Let's look at this guy here. They definitely have like the superhero like landing pose, right? like he just he had his head down and he looked up to look at the other opponent. I appreciate the little bit of rock here. Again, just a little tiny bit to add there, but that's kind of nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything super negative here. A little bit of mold line right here.
You're right about his pose.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the round table. That is Claustrophobia 1643. We're going to look at the miniatures up close and kind of in really good lighting so you get to see everything. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon.